Hi, Terry from Gaily Dreadful. And Anthony, I was curious what it was like to take on the role of Tommy Doyle and work with some of the returning cast members from the original film.
Dude, I was just pumped from day one. I was really excited. You know, when this came up 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I had the privilege of meeting with David before my screen test. And then I screen tested and I just went all in. You know, I just really tried to rev myself up and do my thing, and I was so pumped up. I've never, honestly, in my whole career, this is my 45th year. I started when I was 8 years old, man. I've never been more excited about a movie or a role that I've done. So I'm filled with a sense of pride and I'm very humbled by it, and we just had a great experience. David Gordon Green is an awesome guy. He really is. I was a huge fan of his and Danny's going into this experience. And then to kind of plug into their crew who've been with them for 15 years and to work with these incredible dynamic women, Jamie Lee and Judy and Andy and Kyle. I mean, it was just awesome, man. So from every aspect, it's a real privilege because, first of all, it's a great movie and we're really excited about it. And it's kind of unanimous. We all really are looking forward to unleashing it on the world. But equally important is that there's such an audience and a diehard fan universe, for this franchise. So the fact that people are hungry for it and they're anticipating it, and it just gets me pumped. I'm just really, really excited about it, man.
Hell yeah, thanks.
Yeah, hell yeah. Who's on your shirt, bro? Who is that? Oh, they.
It's Jeff Goldblum from The
I
Fly.
love Jeff Goldblum from The Fly. Jeff Goldblum in anything.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's great, man.
Hi, Anthony. Brittany Murphy from Geeks of Color. I really love the movie, especially your character. You have so many great scenes. So I was just wondering, what was one of the personal favorites for you to film?
Great question. I think one of I had a great time doing that opening scene, and we were very fortunate, Brittany, because we were able to do that not in sequence at the beginning of our schedule, but about a week in. So that was really cool because that allowed me to kind of, first of all, work with and meet Kyle and Nancy and a lot of the people that also people like Robert Longstreet and people that had just kind of joined the franchise. So that was cool because chronologically it helped me set up where I was going. It's great to kind of build that trajectory for the character. So that was a lot of fun. There was a lot of dialogue there. I was working on it for days before I got to the set. So that was fun to shoot. And also I think the stuff at the hospital was really great too. We had such a great group of background artists, people that were there. And, oftentimes they're running down the same hallway 14 times and, like creating this environment. But again, the challenge was to make those circumstances real, to really oppose Michael. And I think what's really wonderful about the screenplay in this project is the way in which Danny McBride, who's brilliant, and David and Scott Teems, their writing partner, they're able to thread all those characters, from the original film to the 2018 version, and yet they still make room for new actors and characters, So it's amazing how effortless they make it look, but they did a great job with the screenplay. So those scenes in the hospital were also very challenging because, again, if I don't believe it as an actor, I can't really make anyone else believe it, So I just had to go all in, Brittany, for the whole film, and that was fun for me because that's kind of how I approach it anyway, And surviving Hollywood is not as hard as surviving Haddonfield, but I was ready.
It's almost as hard.
You're not kidding. You're not
Yeah.
kidding.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate it.
Hey, Anthony, just want to say I'm a big fan of yours. You'll always be
Oh,
Gary
thanks,
to me, man. You'll always be Gary to me.
man. My man.
Um,
We're in science. Right on. In New York in the
that's
house.
right.
Nice. Good to see you, Gary. Thank you, bud.
No problem. I just want to know what was it like for you going face to face with the boogeyman himself in this film?
Well, you know what? Kyle spoke to this earlier. She was there from Jump Street in the original film. There's something really freaky about it because when you look over and you see Chris Nelson, there's a whole team around him, but just the way that these actors have embodied it. James Jude is incredible. Nick shows up for a sequence. It got me pumped, man. I was just excited. You know what I mean? So even though it's make believe and it's, and you're playing, you got to make it real for yourself, man. So I have this kind of, I'm Irish Italian in my descent, so I have kind of a pugnacious character anyway. You know what I mean? So it just was a lot of fun for me to apply that to this role. That he's a fighter, the whole town is. Lindsey, Kyle's character, everybody kind of makes this decision to rise up and to become fighters and not just survivors and not just victims. So to me, that's what was really cool about the script, is that everybody has that opportunity to make that turn and kind of has a similar trajectory, even though everybody gets there differently with their own characters, you know. So I felt so blessed and privileged, man, just to be a part of it. And now that we all know that the film turned out so great, we're all really just amped, because it's so exciting to know, first of all, how hungry the audience is, fans of this franchise, and that we're going to bring them something that's really great, that they're going to get hyped about. It's a really awesome feeling, man. So. Thanks, Gary. Go Yanks, man.
Oh, they gone, man.
Hey everyone, Russ Weekland from Hollywood Life. For the careers that you both had, both in movies and outside of movies, was there ever any apprehension to come into this film, because you both knocked it out of the park? But was there any like, I don't want to do it just because of this reason or that reason, or were there any struggles with that?
None of that for me. I'll defer to Ms. Richards.
None of that for me either. Yeah. No, I was just so excited to be able to reprise my role of Lindsey and work with Jamie Lee Curtis again and David Gordon Green. And then just like the icing on the cake was, John Carpenter's doing the music again with his son. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, it's just a dream come true. And to be able to be acting again, going back to, my first love, which is acting, just meant the world to me, and just could not have been more excited to be there.
Same here.
Would you want to act a little more, Kyle, nowadays? Because you really knocked it out of the park.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Russ. Yes, I really am excited about that. I just did a Christmas movie where I played the lead with Betsy Brandt from Breaking Bad, and we were filming 5 weeks in Utah, and it just feels so good. It's like, this is what I do. This is what I love. And it's what really makes me feel fulfilled in my, career. So I'm just so happy to be doing that again, and keep going, keep doing it.
Right on.
Following my role model, Betty White.
Right on.
Joe Deckelmeyer, The Illuminati. First of all, guys, amazing job on this film. It was brilliant. The kill counts, woo! Those creative kills in this movie. But I do have to ask, Anthony, you're coming into the franchise playing Tommy, and Kyle, you're reprising your role as Lindsey. And the first film in 2018 was really about Laurie's trauma and dealing with trauma from 40 years ago. And this one's really about your guys' characters dealing with the trauma. Can you talk to me about what you wanted to bring to your guys' role that wasn't necessarily on the page?
You want to start, Anthony?
Sure. Thank you, Kyle. Well, for me, just kind of showing the fight, because I think as an actor, and I think Kyle and I share this, we've had completely different experiences. We started out as kids in this industry, and I was watching Kyle when I was a kid, And so the fact is that, it's something, you're never promised anything in life, in any career, and especially in our business, it's very tough. So I was just excited about playing a fighter, something that was heroic. So I felt like it was a real blessing to get that role, and that Tommy is a hero. He's willing to fight with his community and his friends. But the truth is, David and Danny and Scott, when they wrote the script, they gave that opportunity to all of us. So there's this great turn that everybody makes from becoming, from going from being victims and being just survivors to saying, hey, you know what, we're going to rise up, we're going to fight this. And it just falls right in line perfectly with this classic theme. It's the Strodes versus Myers, it's good versus evil. And in this film, we see the story open up. And I thought everybody was just fantastic in it, and we all had a great time. And it wasn't lost on us. We were all amped because we knew the last one was such a big hit. And you have 40 years of fans that follow and have loved this movie franchise. So honestly, there was so much there for me to work with. I was just pumped up every day. I was really excited, and I feel very blessed and fortunate to be a part of it,
Well, like Anthony said, we've been in this business so long, and Jamie Lee Curtis said to me, we're not only warriors and survivors in our characters, but we're warriors and survivors for being in this business our entire lives. I started when I was 3 years old. So, and I mean, Anthony, we're like basically the same. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, well, barely. So, but awesome. For me to bring this character since, I'm 8 years old, and, just to look at her and think, who is Lindsey now after 40 years of what she's gone through and how that affected her and shaped her as a person. And then with the amazing script, just to be able to bring that to life was so exciting, and working with, you know, the original people, and then getting to meet, you know, the new cast members, and Anthony, who I've watched in every movie he's done. It's like, it was all just so exciting, and it just made my job so much easier to get to do what I love so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Man.
Thank you.
Glad you loved it, Joe.
Hi, I'm Karen from Shakya. I was actually about to kind of ask about a similar question to the last one, and just really how you both really work to pay tribute to your characters from the original film, while also kind of modernizing them and really developing them for this film, and especially working with David in that sense of really moving the characters forward and really showing their fight, like you both mentioned as well.
Right. Good. So I guess we answered them. Thank you. Thank you very
Well,
much.
I mean, I will say that, you know, all these, you know, as adults, I mean, as you know, in our real lives, we're different people than we were when we were 8 years old. So, you know, that was easy for me to say, you know, who I was at 8 years old is very different from who Lindsey is now. And thankfully, I had someone to guide me, to help me, you know, create this character, Lindsey, who David Gordon Green, you know, I worked with closely. So it was just a dream come true. And I'm just so excited because the movie got pushed off for over a year, which was the best decision, because now people can go and see it in theaters with other people, which is such an incredible experience. And or they can watch it home on Peacock, but definitely watch it with some friends, because it's terrifying.
Absolutely. I just feel like there's some classic themes that people, we all love movies for. One of them is a triumph of the will, you know, and I think you have that here. And I think that it's such a great story, and it's so classic. All the themes of good versus evil, there was so much there for us to dig into and to mine in the story. So we all just wanted to represent and just give, you know, put our best work forward. I know I really wanted to make David proud, and everybody at the studio. And it was just a privilege to work with all these great people. There's so many talented, cool artists, and everybody was humble and had a great outlook and had great energy. And you know, it just all was like, it was a dream situation, it really was. And so now, 2 years later, it's a great feeling knowing that we made something that is going to hit people hard, you know, and that fans of the franchise will really love. It's very gratifying, you know, so I'm truly grateful. Like Kyle said, I just feel very blessed and excited, you know, to see the movie with an audience, with my coworkers, and also just to see it in some theaters. I'm probably going to see it 10 times in the next month. You know?
I know, right? Exactly.
I'm pumped.
Action.
Happy Halloween.